Be sure to comment, like, and subscribe. What's good, YouTube family? This your boy DJ back at y'all with another one. Boy, do I got a good one for y'all today. I got a great testimony from this guy. And I'm gonna start doing something different. I'm gonna start giving y'all testimonies, and then I'm gonna be like reacting to them, giving some commentary at the end of it. But this is like a spinoff from my shorts, because those shorts be so good that it's just hard to fit all the good stuff in just a 30-second clip or a minute clip. So what I'm gonna do is start making a video of it, and then I'm just gonna react to it, give some commentary to it. So I am gonna start. I'm gonna keep exposing darkness in the world. I'm gonna keep, doing my short testimonies, but I'm gonna start making reaction videos to them as well. So I hope that y'all enjoy this. I hope y'all like it. Please subscribe, and I just pray that y'all have a blessed day, man. Thank you.
I went out and I got a haircut. I was starting to get texts from people. I had a friend in town, and I was like, you know what? Let me just go out. And I got invited to go to a house party. And in that house party, I crashed into my friend Luis, which was so awesome. I hadn't seen him in a long time, and I just saw him, give him a hug. I asked him where he had been, and I didn't know that the Lord was doing the work in him already at that time. That night just kept going, and we all decided to go to Pulse nightclub. So we went, had a time together, dancing, drinking, and they call last call at 2:02 a.m. So I go ahead, I go to the bar, got my last drink, came back into the main dance floor, and I was chatting it up. Some people were dancing, some people were starting to say their goodbyes. And I remember at that moment, 2:02 a.m., I hear a loud pop. And I remember it was so close to me. I hear it in the right of my ear, pop. I remember seeing an orange flash cross my face. I jumped, I dropped my drink, I got scared. And in seconds, I just hear pop, 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 really fast. And all I could think at that moment was run. And I turned to my left. I ran about 2 or 3 steps. And I remember I start feeling hot taps behind my legs. And because of the force, I fell down on my face. And in seconds, the club is in chaos. You could start hearing the screams, people jumping over each other, trampling each other. I remember at that moment, even though I knew I couldn't walk, I was already shot in my legs, I still attempted to get up to run. And at that moment, I remember someone just jumps over me. I feel a foot behind my left leg, and over the screams, over the music, I hear a snap. And I remember feeling the most excruciating pain that I've ever felt, as my leg was being broken at that moment. And I fall right back down on the floor. And at this time, I can't move. I'm starting to not feel my legs. My left leg is broken. My right leg is all shot. And all I could do was just cover my head. And every time I look up, I just see bodies just falling down one by one. There was a lady that fell next to me, and she was in pain. She was yelling. I remember I grabbed her hand and I told her it's going to be okay. And at this moment, I hear the shooter go outside. I can hear the shots going on. And I took that time to lift my head, and I looked around, and I just see bodies all over. It was quieter in that room now. And I remember at that moment, I was like, Angel, this is not real. This is not real. This is a dream. This is a dream. Wake up. This is a dream. And I kept on repeating it. This is a dream. Wake up. I kept on hitting myself. I was pinching myself. And I just opened my eyes, and I was still there. And I hear some footsteps coming in through the door, and I put my head down because I didn't know who it was. And I just start hearing pops. And this time it was slower than before. Pop, pop. I couldn't understand why until I came to realize that it was a shooter, and he's shooting everyone that's on the floor. He was making sure that everyone's dead, that he finished the job in that room. And I remember hearing the shots closer and closer and closer. And the lady next to me, she was in pain, and I held her hand. I told her it's going to be okay. We have to be quiet. Stay still. Pretend you're dead. As I'm telling her that, I hear the shots coming closer, and I tell myself, Angel, close your eyes. Stop breathing. Don't move. Pretend you're dead. And at that moment, I had my hand on my face covered. I'm holding her hand with my other hand. And I remember hearing a loud pop. I got scared because it sounded just like the first pop that I heard that night right next to my ear. I jumped, I opened my eyes, and I remember seeing the body of the lady just jump up and down. I remember her hand lets loose of my hand, and I look at her face and her eyes just shut. And at that moment, in the inside, I'm panicking. Never in my life would have I thought I was going to see someone get murdered in front of my face. I'm panicking in the inside because I know I'm next. He knows that I'm alive. I'm holding her hand. But yet I'm still trying to pretend that I'm dead. I'm trying to not make a sound. I'm not trying to move. I'm just staying still on the floor. And I can feel him just staring at me behind me. I could feel him. I could feel his presence right behind me. But it was like if time froze. Nothing was going on. I can feel him behind me. So at that moment, I thought to myself and I said, Angel, I think this is a time that the Lord has given you to make peace with him because you're about to die. And in my head, I start praying and I start asking for forgiveness. And I said, Lord, please forgive me for the way that I've lived, for the things that I've been doing. Please forgive me that I pushed myself away from you. You were always there with me, but I was the one that pushed you away. And I said, Lord, I'm sorry, but please, I'm about to die. Take me with you, please, Lord. Take me with you. And still nothing was happening, like if time froze. But something just clicked in my head and something just made me change my prayer. And I started to prophesy over my life. I said, Lord, no, I'm not leaving here dead today. I'm leaving here alive. You promised me that there was purpose in my life that hasn't been fulfilled. So that means that I'm going to be here alive. You promised my mom that her son had purpose that still hasn't been fulfilled. So that means that I'm leaving here alive. And I just kept on prophesying over my life. I kept on telling the Lord, I'm going to leave here and I'm going to testify of what you're going to do in my life. I'm going to worship you, Lord. I'm going to come back and worship you as hard as I can. And it was like if there was spiritual warfare going on at that moment, like if I was changing the plans of the enemy at that moment. And I just kept on praying and praying. And the moment that I said amen in my head, I said amen. And right there, I hear pop. And I remember feeling my body jump up and down. I remember feeling heat and pain, just pain in my midsection, realizing that I'm being shot all over again. And I just see black. And I think to myself, Angel, you're dead. You're dead. That's it. He shot you again. Point blank. You're seeing black. You're dead. And at that moment, I hear some footsteps walking away. And I open my eyes. And I remember at that moment, all I could do was just thank the Lord. It was as if that prayer that I made when I was prophesying over my life, it was like if that just gave me the strength to not move, to not yell, to not twitch, to not make a sound as I was being shot all over again. I couldn't understand why. With the pain that I felt at that moment, it was like if God was just holding me, telling me it's going to be okay. And I know that that prayer, it was because of that. And at that moment that I opened my eyes, I could just thank the Lord. And I was hearing the shots going on in the other room. And I see some lights through the door that I could see across. And it was the police that were trying to come in, but they were trying to be as quiet as they could be. And I would hear them whisper, who's alive? Who's alive? And I raised my hand quick and I told him, me, please come get me. And I remember seeing the officer run to me. He was still trying to be quiet, but he ran to me. And I asked him, can you please carry me? I can't walk. I can't feel my legs. And he told me, I'm sorry, I can't carry you. There's a procedure that if there's bodies all over, I can only drag you. And at that moment, I was just, I wanted to get out of there. And I told him, do what you have to do. Just take me out, please. And I remember he grabbed me, he flipped me over, and he just started to run as fast as he could. And it was a mix of emotions at that moment because I could hear the shots going on. I was scared. And I would tell him, run to get me out of here. Yeah, I had a sense of relief of him pulling me out of there. But at the same time, I'm in pain because now I'm being dragged over the glass that's on the floor. And I could feel the glass cutting my legs open even more than what they were. But still, I was telling him, run, get me out of here. And I made it outside, and by God's grace, I could just thank the Lord at that moment. I just kept on thanking him, Lord, thank you, thank you, thank you. He dragged me across the street. So much was happening at that moment. I remember the ambulances had come in at that moment, and they grabbed me, and it was starting to become a blur at that moment. They put me in the ambulance. They went into the hospital that was only a block away. Thank God it was only a block away.
There you have it. That was a great testimony by that guy, man. God was definitely with him, man. I just want to give thanks to God. You know, you got to give thanks to God every single day, man. Cover you, look up, watch over you in these last and evil days. You want to send out a prayer to the families of the victims that didn't make it. You know, if you heard what he said, it was a lot of people that didn't make it. It was bodies all over the floor. So, you know, thank God he was one of the ones that did pull through. It's just a sad situation. Sometimes we gotta be aware of the situations we put ourselves in, man. You just can't go anywhere anymore. You just can't do the stuff that we used to do because it's evil in the minds of people more than ever. And you know, in the Bible it say that people gonna be evil minded in the last days. So, you know, I just thank God every day, man. We gotta stay prayed up. But once again, you want to just send love out to everybody, man. Thank God he's still alive. That God covered him. You know, it's amazing what God can do. But I hope y'all liked it. I'm gonna be doing more of these. So make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, hit the bell so you know when I'm gonna drop. Again, God bless y'all, man. Y'all have a blessed day, man.